In rollerblading's relatively short lifespan, it has produced some larger-than-life characters whose reputations precede them. There's USD icon Josh Petty, who was, for want of a better term, quite well known for being a bit punchy-facey, as evidenced in VG9. But it sounds better when Louis Zamora tells the story.
Alright, here we go. Corey jumps to the back to fight with Josh. JP hits him in the face, loses his glasses somewhere. Now you're in a dilemma here. Can't find my glasses.
He also admits to willingly taking part in a bunch of fights on his episode of Jump Street podcast.
You know, you had some beef in skating, bro. You know, you had a long-standing one with Jeremy Pettichini that was going on forever. I don't know, like those who don't know, Jeremy Pettichini was he was like an X Games. He was a skater who was in the X Games from Rhode Island, and him. I don't know why, but like, how did that whole beef start? And I remember being there for one of the fights that you guys had outside of a bar in Philly.
He said something to me that I took as an insult. I actually flew out there just for the fight. Really?
What? No, you didn't.
Yeah, I wasn't even in the X Games.
What? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I heard he was going to be there, and Joe and a couple of people were already going out there, and I bought a ticket just to fly out there. I get in the fight, and I came home the next day.
What?
I swear to God. I don't understand the world we live in today. Like, people get real mouthy on the internet, and they expect not to get slapped in the mouth, you know? Like, it makes no sense to me. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I was probably the asshole in the whole thing, you know, so I'll take full responsibility for that. I can be an asshole sometimes.
Then there's Aaron Feinberg, who, when he wasn't winning the X Games and pretty much every other major competition going during his reign of dominance, could be found getting himself into all sorts of trouble, from being caught with huge bags of weed at a competition in South Africa, starting brawls on European tours, or getting into some drunken scuffles with friends. He was also known to be a bit of a diva on the competition circuit.
Things started going, the different way, because we had Aaron Feinberg cursing out the cameraman on ESPN and obviously, punking them, and that was not cool, which is some of the reasons that you see how we had issues with ESPN and staying on TV for a lot of those punky things that we used to do. But evolution, right? Just some of the things that happened.
Then there's champion Baumstimler, who was widely regarded as the devil child of the mid-90s competition circuit and was no stranger to run-ins with the police, as shown in the USD team video Coup d'etat.
That's fine. I'll call a real cop to you. I hope you do. I didn't even do nothing. I was in the car with that girl. I'm trying to leave right now, dude. Spread your legs. They're spread. They'll be spread when I tell you they're spread.
But none of these people even came close to causing the carnage that Stephane Alfano left in his wake. The Frenchman has managed to offend people on both sides of the Atlantic with his behaviour, and some of his antics have become the stuff of legends. He was even banned from the biggest event in blading, Winter Clash, twice, and fees. Stephane has proven himself time and time again as one of the most fearless individuals to lace up a pair of skates. He is a prolific competition skater who has countless titles to his name. Stephane was the French, European and World Amateur Champion in 2001. He was also the French Professional National Champion in 2002 and took the silver medal at the aggressive inline street event at the X Games in 2003. Stephane also came second at Winter Clash in 2006 and won the event in 2007. He has also landed some truly epic stunts in his time, including this mighty Cork 720 to Seoul on the way to winning Gladiator contest in 2008. Despite his obvious talents and numerous claims to fame, both in competitions and on the streets, Stephane has never been awarded with a pro skate despite riding for both Deshi and Razors, and some believe it was due to his attitude. Stephane is widely regarded as a bit of a wild man who likes to party and live by his own rules, but he's also gained a reputation for being difficult to deal with and has been known to throw tantrums when things don't go his way.
Est-ce que vous êtes toujours là pour Monsieur Stephane Alfano?
One example of this took place at the LG World Championships in Seattle in 2008. Stephane skated well throughout the event and qualified for the final, overpowering previous LG World Champion Eric Bailey, CJ Wellsmore, Jeff Stockwell, and more. The final round was narrowed down to 6 skaters and consisted of a jam session, with each skater getting various attempts at a best trick. And despite the fact that it featured a stacked field that included Brian Aragon, Chaz Sands and David Sizemore, it essentially became a battle between Stephane Alfano and Frankie Morales. Both skaters skated exceptionally throughout the day. Stephane landed some incredibly impressive tricks, including a 1260 across the launch box and a 450 Royale on the biggest grind obstacle in the park. Then Frankie stepped things up with a 540 off the vert ramp into the quarter, the biggest drop in the park.
Look, Frankie, back up on the vert ramp. This is so exciting. He came so close to landing that 540 transfer. Perfect! Oh, wow. I mean, perfect.
Stephane copied the trick and, like Frankie, landed it clean on his second attempt. But he then threw his helmet on the floor, much to the bemusement of the commentators.
And look at Stephane still gunning for Frankie's trick. And he lands it, another perfect landing. So we've seen this amazing trick, and now Stephane is fired up.
The question is,
I don't know what that's all about. Is he doing that for Frankie's benefit, or is he really excited?
Well, in Stephane's mind, he's landed the same trick, but he also landed other cool tricks.
Like the 1080.
But it doesn't matter, because all that matters is the best trick. So he basically has matched Frankie's trick, but Frankie did it first. So then
he's got to figure out a way to one-up it.
Exactly. And so far, in my book, he hasn't one-upped it.
His behaviour then became, to put it mildly, antagonistic. His erratic actions included kicking his helmet around the course and flipping off the cameras.
And I don't know what Stephane's doing, because he should be up on the vert ramp. I don't know what... This is real interesting to me.
That was very French.
Well, it was also a throwaway.
Yeah.
I mean, he has not won this thing. I don't know why he thinks he doesn't need another attempt at this point.
It's worth bearing in mind that this event was televised internationally. As Frankie had attempted the stunt first, and it's essentially a best trick contest, he took the win, and Stephane let his frustrations be known before the event had even finished, with some antics that left the commentators very confused. Things didn't get much better when he accepted the silver medal on the podium, pouring out water, flipping off the cameras again, and exposing his bare arse on international TV.
2008 World Championships. There's your silver medalist, looking very unhappy at the moment, the Frenchman, Stephane Alfano. That is classy. Stephane Alfano, a gracious second place finish.
David Sizemore couldn't believe what he was seeing, and Frankie Morales simply gave Stephane a side glance after he stormed off the podium. Another example of Stephane Alfano's short temper could be witnessed at Winter Clash in Berlin in 2010. The following video was uploaded to YouTube shortly after the event and is entitled "Stephane Alfano is not a very nice person." It currently has over 13,000 views. The creator of the video alleges that shortly before he started filming, the Frenchman put out a cigarette on Yo-Yo Jacoby's shoulder. He can then be seen getting in the Winter Clash organiser's face, flicking his cap, pulling his lanyard off and throwing it on the floor, and generally being disrespectful. Stephane had been banned from Winter Clash for antisocial behaviour and had been banned from fees as well at a previous event, and after he failed to qualify for the final at Winter Clash, he decided to air his grievances with Yo-Yo. Despite a couple of ugly spectacles at international events, which have, unfortunately for Alfano, been immortalised on camera, the Frenchman continued to have a successful competition record, taking first place at FIS World Chengdu and FIS World Montpellier in 2014, and winning the Vendée Freestyle session in 2015. Stephane has been an absolute powerhouse on skates for over 20 years, and he's still going strong, appearing regularly at various events and dividing his time between his native France and South America. He has also heavily influenced an entire generation of elite French competition skaters, including Romain Godinaire, Romain Abrat, Julien Coudot, and more. It will be interesting to see if his blading legacy is his numerous accomplishments or his moments of madness under the spotlight. What do you think? Let me know in the comments.